It is fatal to enter any war without the will to win it. General Douglas MacArthur. Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of every soldier that died protecting it. A jeep, a drone, and an old man.
Howdy, everybody. I appreciate all y'all coming to watch the video today. Today I'll be doing a comparison between Pier 15 and Pier 21. Now, Pier 15 has ended up being the final home for the Battleship Texas. However, Pier 21 originally was going to be the home of the Battleship Texas. However, that fell through, as most of you know. We're going to do a comparison between the two today. And I think you'll agree with me that Pier 15 is going to make a much more sensible home for her. This is a public area that we generally fly from. Here you see Pier 21. Let's measure Pier 21 to see how long it is. Now, if you don't already realize it, this is being done through Google Earth. 156 meters, about 512 feet. The Battleship Texas is 573 feet. Now over here is Katie's Restaurant, the leader of the coup against putting the battleship at Pier 21. And as you can see, let's back out a little bit here. As you can see, had the battleship been at Pier 21, that is not in direct line with Katie's Restaurant and would not have blocked most of the view. Possibly some, if you were in a corner looking off to the left. Now let's take a look and see actually how close Pier 15 right here is to Pier 21. But first, let's take a measurement of Pier 15 and see how long it is compared to Pier 21. 200 meters, which is basically 660 feet. And again, the battleship is 573 feet long, so she's going to fit much better there. Now let's see the distance between the two. Here we'll start at Pier 21. We'll stretch in a straight line to Pier 15. We've got 653 meters, or approximately 0.3 miles. Now that is in a straight line. Now, as you can see in this view here, again from Google Earth, there is ample parking already in the area. The ship would be extremely protected from hurricanes here. Let's back out a little bit and take a look at the reason why. As you can see, it's on the north side of Galveston Island. The southern side faces the Gulf of America, where the storms would be coming in from. So the city itself protects the ship from winds. However, she would still have to deal with rising and lowering tides. Originally, the moorings that were at San Jacinto were removed with the plans to reuse them in Galveston. As far as I know, those plans are still in existence. Those moorings allow the ship to rise and lower with changing tides. Let's take a walk down Pier 21 from up in a bird's eye view. Now the pier is just a little bit longer than the battleship, so the battleship barely fits in here. And she is exposed to waves of inbound and outbound cruise ships. And there is actually no place to put parking or a building that would suffice as a museum. The Alyssa, however, is just right next door. Now let's head from Pier 21 down the channel here a little bit to Pier 15. Now you'll see at Pier 15 there's plenty of parking space. However, right now I'm sure that parking is reserved for the cruise lines and their employees. There are building spaces. The building right there to the bottom right is a new parking garage that is being built for the cruise lines. The other two buildings are also used currently for the cruise lines. I'm going to assume that the building horizontal there, right next to the Pier 15, is going to be used for the museum. Now, I know those plans are not worked out yet, so it may end up being somewhere else. It may end up being in that parking lot to the right there. However, that would put it at a different pier than what the battleship would be at. So the most logical place for the museum. Oh, sounds like my wife's little Yorkie Gunner wants to put in his 2 cents. Seems to me that building right there is the most logical area for a museum, although it is fairly large. According to Katie's Restaurant, visitors to the bow of the Battleship Texas will enjoy the beautiful view of the Houston Ship Channel as cruise lines sail back and forth. Here you can see all of the parking that's available around Pier 17. Some of those are public parking areas, some are employee parking areas, and still others are parking areas for cruise line passengers. In preparation for the Battleship Texas, there's a massive amount of infrastructure work that still needs to be done. The following photos have been closely calculated to resemble the actual size of the battleship at each pier. Pier 21 without the battleship. Add the battleship. Pier 15 without the battleship. And add the battleship. As you can see, there is much more room at Pier 15. Pier 15 in Galveston has been chosen as the new home for the Battleship Texas due to several key advantages. Safety. The location offers better protection from hurricanes and minimizes navigational hazards compared to other options. Tourism and education. Being close to Galveston's historic strand and Pier 21, it is expected to attract visitors and provide educational opportunities. Non-disruptive. Pier 15 does not interfere with future port expansion plans. Funding. The move is financed by the state and the Battleship Texas Foundation, ensuring no additional costs for Galveston residents. This decision marks a significant step in preserving and showcasing this historic World War I dreadnought battleship.